Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we try to make sense of all the latest updates hitting the platforms you use every day. The pace in data and AI, especially with platforms like Databricks, it's just relentless, isn't it? Keeping up feels like a job in itself. So today, we're diving into the Databricks release notes for July 2025. That covers everything from July 2nd right through to the 31st. Our mission, to pull out the really important stuff, figure out what's new, what's actually better, and what it means for you working with the stuff day in, day out. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here, I think, is that it's not just about the brand new shiny features, though there are some of those. A lot of these updates are really significant quality of life improvements, security boosts, foundational shifts even,
Yeah,
things that genuinely change how data teams work.
exactly. It's the small stuff that adds up sometimes.
Understanding those sometimes subtle changes is really key to making the most of the platform.
Couldn't agree more. So let's jump right in. Our first segment is all about making things smoother, compute, and the user experience. Databricks has definitely made some moves here. First up, this one's pretty big, the new compute policy form. It's in public preview now. Feels like a real push towards doing configuration to the UI, right? Less need to constantly look up the syntax.
Absolutely. They've added new drop-downs for defining rules, which just simplifies the whole process. You're not writing as much JSON, basically.
And they've reorganized things too, haven't they? Like the max compute resources per user, max DBUs per hour, cluster type.
Yeah, those are now tucked under an advanced options section. Cleans up the main interface.
Okay, and tagging definitions are separate now. And permissions.
Right, tagging has its own spot, and policy permissions, those have moved to a modal you access from the policy overview page. Just better organization overall. Practically speaking, this means it's just easier.
Yeah.
Less friction for admins setting up compliant compute environment, sure, but also maybe lowers the barrier a bit for defining policies in the first place.
So better governance becomes more accessible, maybe.
Exactly. Easier to enforce those guardrails, control costs, all that good stuff, without needing to be a syntax expert.
Makes sense. And speaking of easier compute, that simplified compute form that's now the default, right, for all-purpose and jobs compute.
Yep, enabled by default. So that initial setup step just getting a little bit quicker for everyone.
Good. But it's not just compute config. The notebook editing experience got some love, too.
Oh yeah, some really nice enhancements here. The split view for side-by-side editing is finally here.
Ah, that's been requested for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Great for comparing things or working on related code.
Definitely. And the find and replace using CMD CE serial plus F now brings up the native Databricks tool that searches the entire notebook, not just what's visible.
Oh, thank goodness. That old browser find was always a pain point. Searching the whole notebook is huge.
Huge productivity game right there. Plus, quick switching between tab groups using new icons. Just smoother navigation when you're deep in the code.
And for serverless notebooks, there's something about restoring variables. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, this is a potential game changer. Serverless notebooks now automatically restore your Python variables after idle termination.
Wait, really? So if my serverless compute goes idle and shuts down?
Exactly. Databricks snapshots your Python variables before it terminates. When you reconnect, boom, your notebook state is restored, variables and all.
Wow. So no more rerunning everything from the top just because you stepped away for lunch.
Precisely. Think about complex analyses, ML model states. This saves you from those massive oh no moments and just lets you pick up where you left off. It's a serious quality of life improvement.
That is genuinely huge.
Yeah.
Okay, so shifting gears a bit, let's move into data sharing and governance. Always critical. Seems like a lot happening with Delta sharing specifically. First, there's beta support for sharing tables and schemas secured by ABAC policies.
Right, attribute-based access control. This is pretty significant. It means providers can share data that's already governed by these attribute policies.
Like data sensitivity level or project tags, that sort of thing.
Exactly. And the cool part is the recipients can then apply their own ABAC policies on top of that shared data.
So it allows for much more granular, maybe dynamic control across organizations.
Precisely. Think about data mesh concepts. This enables much more flexible and secure large-scale data exchange, especially when you have complex rules. It's moving beyond just basic ACLs.
Interesting. And staying with Delta, sharing streaming tables and materialized views is now generally available. GA.
Yep, that's a sign of maturity. It means it's production-ready, stable, fewer limitations, makes sharing real-time data feeds much more robust.
Okay. And a couple of smaller but important points. You now need an organization name to enable Delta sharing on a metastore if you're sharing outside your account.
Just helps the recipient know who the data is coming from. Basic transparency.
Makes sense. And a security tightening. Only metastore admins can transfer share ownership now.
Yeah, that's a good control. Prevents accidental or unauthorized transfers of ownership for shared data. Keeps things locked down.
And more on permissions. The Candy VW permission on SQL warehouses is also GA now.
Right. This lets users see the warehouses, check query history, look at profiles, but not actually run queries or use the compute.
So perfect for audit teams or maybe monitoring roles.
Exactly. Visibility without execution rights. Very useful for certain roles.
And then there's this one. Disabling DBFS root and mounts is in public preview. That sounds pretty impactful.
It is. It's an option to enhance security by basically turning off direct access to the root Databricks file system and any mounts you might have configured.
What's the main driver there? Just reducing the potential attack surface.
That's the core idea. While DBFS is useful, direct file system access can be a concern in highly secure environments. This gives organizations the option to lock that down, enforce access strictly through, say, Unity Catalog, aligning better with a least privilege model.
Got it. So more granular control, better alignment with strict security postures. These definitely seem geared towards enterprise governance and compliance.
Absolutely. It's about providing those fine-grained controls needed for secure, large-scale operations.
Okay, so we've covered easier usability and tighter security. Let's talk about the core engine stuff, data processing and lifecycle management. What's new in SQL? Streaming, pipelines. Well, first off, moving tables between Lakeflow Declarative Pipelines is now GA. More flexibility for managing those ETL pipelines within Unity Catalog.
Yep. Makes refactoring or reorganizing your pipelines easier.
And related to that, the main jobs and pipelines list now includes Databricks SQL pipelines.
Ah, good. A unified view. Always helpful when you're trying to manage everything in one place instead of jumping between UIs.
Definitely. But maybe the most exciting thing in processing is the real-time mode in structured streaming. That's in public preview.
Oh yeah, this is a big one for certain use cases. It's a new trigger type designed for sub-second latency.
Sub-second. Wow. So what kind of workloads need that?
Think operational stuff, real-time dashboards that need immediate updates, fraud detection systems that have to react instantly, maybe some IoT sensor processing, real-time personalization. Anywhere that near-instant data processing is critical.
So this really pushes Databricks further into the operational low-latency space.
Exactly. And kind of underpinning some of this, the serverless compute runtime got updated to version 17.0, just a general upgrade, likely bringing performance tweaks and stability fixes.
And new runtimes in beta, too. Databricks runtime 17.1 and 17.1 ML.
Correct. Those are in beta, promising the usual ongoing improvements, better streaming, new SQL functions, connector updates, general performance, and reliability bumps. Always good to see the core engine evolving.
Definitely. Now, for the SQL folks, there are a couple of new insert commands in public preview that sound powerful. Dynamic partition overwrite with insert replace using.
Right. This lets you replace data in specific partitions of a table based on the result of a query. The key is the using clause. It matches columns in your query result to the table's partition columns to decide which partitions to overwrite.
Okay, so targeted replacement for partition tables. And the other one, insert replace on.
This one's even more flexible, maybe. It lets you selectively replace data based on any condition you define in the on-in clause, not just partition columns.
Ah, so you could replace rows where, say, a specific product ID matches, regardless of how the table is partitioned.
Exactly. It gives you really fine-grained, almost surgical control over replacing data based on a custom condition. Very powerful for specific update scenarios.
That does sound useful. Precision data updates. What about tracking what's going on? Anything new in query history?
Yep. The system table for query history has some new columns. Catch origin statemented helps trace cached results. Query parameters, see the parameters used, written rows, and written files.
More visibility. That's always good for debugging and understanding performance or cost.
Absolutely. More data points to analyze query behavior, and a small but important fix. One-time job runs now correctly record the job name in the usage system table. Helps with accurate billing and auditing.
Good catch. And one more on jobs. Parent tasks like run job or for each loops now have a separate concurrency limit.
Yeah, this is actually pretty helpful for complex workflows. Before, these parent tasks counted towards your main job concurrency limit. Now they have their own limit, which should help prevent bottlenecks in jobs that orchestrate lots of other tasks. better parallelism for those complex orchestrations.
Okay, so better observability, better cost tracking, better orchestration, lots of solid improvements under the hood there.
Definitely. It all adds up to a more robust and manageable platform for data processing.
All right, let's move to our final segment. The really cutting-edge stuff, AI, machine learning, and the broader developer ecosystem. Some exciting things here. First up, in beta, is Agent Bricks, multi-agent supervisor. This sounds pretty advanced.
It is. It's a framework designed to make it easier to build AI systems where multiple specialized AI agents collaborate on a complex task. You can combine things like Genie spaces and knowledge assistant agents.
And it integrates with a review app for feedback.
Yeah, that's a key part. Subject matter experts can provide natural language feedback through the review app, which helps train and improve the supervisor agent that coordinates the others. It aims to make building these sophisticated multi-agent systems more accessible and iterative.
Very interesting, making complex AI design a bit more manageable. And another beta feature, exploring table data using an LLM.
Right. This is directly in Catalog Explorer. You can basically ask natural language questions about sample data from a table.
Like, show me the average sales by region for last quarter.
Potentially, yeah. The assistant uses metadata, like column names and descriptions, and maybe even usage patterns, to generate a SQL query to answer your question. You can then look at the SQL, maybe tweak it, and run it.
Huh. So lowering the barrier for data exploration for people who aren't necessarily SQL experts.
Exactly. Making data discovery more intuitive using natural language. Pretty cool application of LLMs right within the data catalog.
Speaking of models, Google's Gemma 3 12B model is now available on Mosaic AI model serving.
Yep. Another powerful foundation model added to the roster. You can use it via the foundation model APIs, paper token, or provision throughput, and also within AI functions. Supports both real-time and batch inference. Just expands the choice of high-quality models available directly on the platform.
Good to have options. And the APARS document function, that's available in more regions now, too.
Correct. Expanded region availability, making that function accessible to more users globally.
Okay, now let's touch on compliance and security again, but specifically for AI workloads. What's new for FIPS-compliant environments?
They've expanded feature support. Specifically, the Model Serving Foundation Model API, paper token endpoints, and batch inference are now usable within FIPS-compliant environments.
And that includes FedRAMP, Moderate, IRP, Canada Protected B.
Right. This is crucial for government agencies and other regulated industries needing to run AI workloads while meeting strict compliance standards. It shows a commitment to enterprise-grade security, even for the latest AI features.
Important for those sectors, definitely. And there's a change to the enhanced security and compliance add-on.
Yeah, it's now available to all customers who are on usage-based pricing. Before, access might have been tied to specific tiers. Now, it's more flexible. You get access to features like the compliant security profile, automatic cluster updates, enhanced security monitoring, and you're only charged for the specific features you enable.
So more flexibility in adopting those advanced security features.
Exactly. Pay for what you use from that security suite.
Okay, rounding out the developer ecosystem. What else caught your eye? Git integration seems to be expanding.
It is. You can now manage your Databricks alerts using Git folders. So version control for your alert definitions, track changes, revert, collaborate, really useful.
Version control for alerts, nice.
And related to that, Git folders now support multiple Git credentials per user, which is in public preview. You can manage credentials for different Git providers like GitHub, GitLab, etc., all through the UI. Big convenience if you work across multiple repos or platforms.
Definitely simplifies credential management. What about connecting to other tools? Power BI.
Yep, the Databricks connector for Power BI now supports the ADBC driver in public preview. Arrow database connectivity. It's an alternative to the standard ODBC driver, potentially offering better performance for some workloads. Worth testing if you use Power BI heavily.
Okay, an alternative driver option there. And something about Databricks apps and Lakebase.
Right. Databricks apps now support Lakebase resources. Lakebase is Databricks' managed Postgres offering. Now you can add a Lakebase database instance as a resource to your Databricks app and access connection details via environment variables in your app's code. Makes integrating that managed database easier.
Seamless integration there. And finally, just helping people keep up, a new RSS feed.
Yeah, a small but welcome addition. There's now a dedicated Databricks documentation release notes feed, an RSS feed specifically for product and feature updates. Easier to stay automatically updated if you use an RSS reader.
Always good to have ways to track the changes. Wow, that was a lot. From UI tweaks to core engine upgrades, advanced AI features, and developer tools.
It really covers the spectrum, doesn't it? And Databricks is clearly continuing to evolve across all layers: developer experience, security, performance, AI. What's fascinating here is how these incremental changes build up over time.
Absolutely.
Which I suppose this raises an important question, maybe for you, the listener, to think about.
Go on.
Given how fast these platforms are moving, with updates like these dropping every month, how might these seemingly incremental changes actually reshape your data architecture or your AI development plans over, say, the next 6 months? Are you positioned to take advantage of them?
That's a really great question. How do these continuous improvements influence your roadmap? Something definitely worth mulling over. And of course, if any specific update we talked about really caught your attention, definitely go check out the official Databricks release notes. They have all the deep technical details we couldn't cover here. Well, that's our deep dive for this round of updates. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope this breakdown helps you navigate what's new and figure out how to put these enhancements to work.